Hey y'all, it's me, Nene. Welcome to my channel. Let me preface with two things. For starters, I am a little congested, so if y'all hear me breathing a little hard in this video, please give me some grace. Second, my camera was tripping trying to record this video, so not everything got caught on camera. But y'all already know I will let y'all know every step that I took to making this dish. For starters, I am making some crab Alfredo, so the very first thing that I did was clean off my crab. I get my crab from the Asian market, and when I get my crab, I buy it in bulk. Every crab I had them cut in four, and what I do when I get home, separate the crab, toss it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer. So this is about a crab and a half. After I had tossed them into the little shallow boil and steam, once they turned this bright red, I knew it was time for me to get them out. Picked them out. I picked my crab out by hand. It do be a little hot sometimes, but if I move quick enough, the little trick that I do is I pick them up by the bottom of their shell or by their legs. I can pick them up real quick and not be bothered by the heat. With me being from the Bay, Dungeness crab won't always be my favorite. Dungeness gonna be top tier. I really don't give a damn what nobody else say. Argue with your mama. I know y'all be trying to put them blue crabs and everything else up there, but nah. Dungeness is where it's at and where it's gonna always be at. Once I went ahead and pulled those out, I did go ahead and run them under some cool water to stop the cook process. And I also started to de-shell the crab. Of course, I had to take breaks in between because I had to get to the next step. This is what the crab was looking like. Next step, which was some making the Alfredo sauce. I started off by grabbing my homemade butter. Thing about it though, when I make my homemade butter, I don't section it off by ounces or tablespoon. I just grab a little bit, roll it up in the parchment paper. That's that. So I use about half of this stick. What I'm gonna do is toss it in the pan first and let that melt down. And then I'm gonna get started on chopping up my garlic. Lately, I've been finding purple garlic for the low, so I've been snagging it up because it is a little expensive normally. Excuse me, I've been getting it from Smart and Final, but I did go to the Indian market a couple of days ago and got me a whole little six pack for like under $3. I want to say it was like $2.69, but I'm geeked every time I come across some purple garlic because I like the taste of it and I feel like it has a more bold taste to it than regular garlic. I am gonna fuck around and root this, toss it in my garden so I can stop buying it and I can always have access to it. But yeah, I went ahead and chopped that down, tossed in the garlic, let those two flavors marry well together. I am going to let the butter and the garlic brown a little bit before I do the next step, which is adding in the heavy whipping cream, which you will see here, they starting to brown. I was going to toss in my heavy whipping cream, and then it dawned on me, I didn't even start my noodles. And you can't have no Alfredo without no noodles. So I had to get my water boiled, tossed in those fettuccine noodles, let those boil down. And then I moved on to the next step, of course, which is adding in the heavy whipping cream. As far as the heavy whipping cream goes, I did use about a quarter, or a little bit more than a quarter of the half gallon. So I am gonna go ahead and toss that in there. I'm gonna let all three of those flavors mix well together, and then it's gonna come time for me to start chopping up my Parmesan cheese. The reason why I am chopping it up by hand is because my grater that I have is coated or had, okay, because I did have to toss it out. It was coated in like some type of black something. That's just the way I bought it. It was a coated one, and the coating started coming off the last time I was shredding cheese. So I just went ahead and tossed that out because don't nobody want all those extra chemicals in their food or nothing like that. But it didn't take me long to chop it up by hand. Anyways, though, once the heavy whipping cream, butter, and garlic I felt like was mixed well together, I went ahead and grabbed my seasoning blend, which was some granulated garlic, some onion powder. I am going to add in some parsley, some red pepper flakes, and this Cajun seasoning that I got from the grocery outlet. It's pretty cool. It's not something, it's something that I have to frequently add to, but it's cool. It worked decent as a little seasoning. I also am going to toss in some black pepper and some pink Himalayan salt. I have mixed that up in that little bowl to the side, so I am going to start off by sprinkling in a couple tablespoons of that seasoning mix, and then I'll add the rest in later. I also am going to squeeze in a little bit of lemon juice simply because this is a crab Alfredo, so I wanted a nice citrus pop to it. After I mix that in, y'all already know the last step of making the Alfredo sauce is tossing in your Parmesan. So I am going to sprinkle that Parmesan in, and then give everything a mix and let that thicken off to the side. In between all this, I am going back and forth to crack my crab shells. I didn't crack all the crab shells because I just started giving me too much of a problem. But of course, I cracked way more than enough to top the pasta off and for us to have. Then I left some for us to have on the side. I am going to go ahead and toss my noodles in once everything thickens up. I did also step out into my garden and grab some fresh basil to top it off with. Of course, that didn't get caught on camera either. But yeah, I grabbed some of my just regular, I think it's like the sweet basil. Grab that to toss that on top. And then I am going to top everything off with just a little bit of Old Bay as well. But yeah, dinner came out hella good. It was more than enough for leftovers. We had some for dinner, of course, and for lunch. We do eat leftovers. I think leftovers is fine. Food be tasting better anyways the next day. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Everything came out hella good, and we definitely was full. But yeah, stay tuned to see what the final product looked like at the end. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if y'all like this video. Thank y'all.